Guys, Miss N here. Today I'm going to be working with you guys on how to graph a quadratic equation that is already in standard form. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you need to do if you're working with quadratic that's in standard form is the way to do that is ensure that it is in ax squared plus bx plus c form. Sometimes they will give you an equation that has things moved around, but you need to make sure that you in this order will make it for you to do the rest of the problem. The second thing you need to do is identify your A, B, and C values. That's why it's important that we make sure that it is in standard form. You can just go through your standard form equation, know that this is your A, this is your B, this is your C. You won't make any mistakes in identifying those values. The third step is to determine if your graph will open up or down. If your A value is a positive number, meaning your A is greater than 0, it will open up. One way to remember that is when you are a positive person or you have a positive number, you probably have a smile on your face and your graph will make a smile. If your A value is less than 0, your graph opens down. Again, it's the same kind of thing. If you are a negative person, you probably have a frowny face. So that's just one way to help you remember which way your graph opens based on your A value. The fourth step is to find the you can find the value of the using the equation x equals negative b divided by 2a. That's why it is important to identify your a, b, and c values. If you don't identify them correctly, your x value for your vertex is off. To find your y value, you're going to plug in the x value you get from using this equation to your original equation. This will give you the y value of your vertex. Now you have your x, your y, and you have your full vertex. Once you have your full vertex point, you're going to choose x values that are greater x value of your vertex and two values that are less than the x value of your vertex. This will give us 4 points in addition to our vertex, so we will have a really good idea of what shape my graph is making, and it will be more accurate and more precise. So once you have all 5 points, vertex and 4 additional points, you're going to graph them, and you will connect them, and then you will have your parabola that represents your quadratic equation that was in standard form. Let's go ahead and work through an example problem so you can see these steps in action. So my first step is to identify and ensure that this is in standard form. When I look at it, I see that I have an x squared and then an x and then a number. That means I have A, B, and C. They are in the correct order. I am good to go. My next is to identify those A, B, and C values. My A value is 2. My B value is negative 4. And my C value is 5. It's important to make sure that you know negative because that will be incorrect if you are just putting positive value down when it is in fact negative. The third step is to find our vertex. We are going to use x equals negative b divided by 2a. So I'm going to plug in my numbers. Right now I have a negative 4 divided by 2 times 2. I can see that a negative 4 turns to a positive 4 divided by 4 because 2 is 4, and 4 divided by 4 is 1. So I now have an x value for my vertex 1. I'm going to take that value and plug it into my original equation to come up with my y value. So I have 2 times 1 squared minus 4 times 1 plus 5. I'm going to simplify my answer. 1 is 2 minus 4 plus 5 gives me an answer of 3. So I now know my vertex is 1, 3. I like to make a chart so I can keep all of my information coordinated. I always put my vertex in the middle because it is the middle of my graph. I'm going to put 1, 3, and note that that is my vertex. So the next step we need to do is come up with two x values that are greater than this one and two x values that are less than this one. So I'm just going to pick the next two numbers on each side of it, so 0 and -1 and 2 and 3. It can be as simple as that. I just wanted to keep my points as close together as I could. So the next thing you will do is just what we did when we came up with the x value. We're going to plug in the x value, our original equation, to come up with y value point. I will do one of them as an example for you. We will use 0 point. We will do 2 times 0 squared minus 4 times 0 plus 5. So I get 0 minus 0 plus 5. I get a value of 5 for that. So my point is 0, 5. I would repeat this step for every single x value that I have on this table. For the sake of time, I'm going to tell those you would have to do each individual one. So when I plug -1 in to that original equation, I get 11. When I plug 2 in, I get 5. When I plug 3 in, I get 11. So now I have 5 points that I can easily graph. I will go ahead and do that. So at -1, 11, 0, 5, 1, 3, 2, 5, and 3, 11. I now have a good idea what my staples be, and I connect them as best I can. And I have now successfully graphed my quadratic equation that was in standard form to begin with.